latest addition to my garage, the Ola S1 Pro Generation 2 electric scooter. What a long name. And this is how it looks. It's all in white, matte white. I prefer white over black because black on black looks good, pretty neat, but visibility would be a problem if you're riding at nights. So I thought white is the best color. And black and white are the only colors that I most probably stick to, and this is where we have the white Ola S1 Pro. This is how it looks. Now quickly going into the other details, let me try to be a motor mouth today that I'm not usually, but then quickly telling you the differences between the old generation and the new generation. Gen 1, a single mono shock front suspension, but here you have dual front suspension with a single disc up front here. All right, and they are from a obscure company, and I don't see any Nissin or Vibre or any other brand out here. Maybe from some company called Nirvik or something, I don't know. I had my repercussions, I had my let's say reservations about this, but then they work fine. They aren't a problem. As soon as I started using them, they brake, they stop. When you apply brakes, they brake the speed, that is, yeah. So, and the other change here is they have, of course it still is a monoshock at the rear, but then they have included a swing arm out here and a different setup. Before, I think the belt was fully covered, now it's semi covered. Still, it doesn't matter. I haven't really faced any big problems out there. Okay, it's called Advic. That's the brand of the rear disc brakes, and even the front, I think, and they work fine. I have no problems whatsoever till now. They're pretty good and very nicely written. Generation 2 for the shock absorbers is the monoshock, and that's the motor, the all-powerful motor, the class leading motor out here in the market as of now in India. The tire size is 110, 70, 12, 47 P. The speed rating is P. That means to say it should be capable of doing 150 kilometers per hour. Not that it would, especially when it's limited electronically, I think, because it could do 120 easily without much whining and crying. When I test rode it in the hyper mode, we'll go through all of those things in detail pretty soon. Going about, as far as the comfort is concerned, seating comfort, see, look, the main reason I chose Ola over the Ather is because, first things first, the handlebar height is higher, okay, compared to the Ather, because so when it's higher, you sit relaxed. Okay, for the Ather, I had to slightly slouch down. For my height, I had to slouch down a bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but the handlebar in Ola is pretty high. That's one of the main reasons I chose Ola, apart from various other main reasons that I'll talk about. Second thing is that the foot pegs. Look, originally, or rather, principally, I'm basically a motorcyclist. Okay, sitting on scooter and then keeping your legs resting out there in the front board, not comfortable for me. I open these foot pegs and I sit like this, like as if you sit on a motorcycle, right? So I sit like this, and it provides me a pretty good, let's say, control over the general riding duties that I do. So basically, and moreover, if there is a bad patch of the road, I could just slightly stand up a bit and absorb the bumps way better than any scooter can by using your legs. That's basically what you do on a motorcycle. Okay. As far as the stand is concerned, it is a little bit flimsy, if I must say, but then so far so good. It hasn't really given me any trouble as such. But then again, I went in for a center stand. It is available on Amazon. I think it is from some Moto something. Now all you need to do is press this button sorry, the lever, and then you are on the center stand right now. It doesn't really bother me much. I can use it for a stable platform. Way better. It's more stronger than, I would rather say it's more stable and stronger than this side stand. As far as the ride comfort is concerned, people are saying, because when I did research on YouTube, thanks to other fellow YouTubers, I did find that they were saying it was way better before with a monoshock. It was very compliant. It would absorb a lot of potholes and whatnot on the road, and the new one has been stiffened up. I feel yes, it's a fact. Yes, I think it is a bit stiff as far as my experience goes, because I haven't ridden the older generation. I'm just riding the Gen 2. I went in for the Gen 2 right away, so I feel the ride is fine, man. I mean, you can't expect more than what it offers as of now. Any scooter for that matter, the ride for me is fine. And as I told you again, if you are able to use the foot pegs well, you wouldn't feel the harshness of the road much flowing through your spine. So that is that. Now the tires supplied from the company, as I already spoke about, from C8 right now. This is specifically made for EV vehicles, because it says Energy Ride EV. That's what it says. It's specifically made for the Ola, I guess. And that is that. I've washed it once with in the commercial washing center. I told them very specifically not to use high pressure, and they reduced the pressure on the nozzle, and then they sprayed it from far away to keep it clean. And so far I have done around 1,600 kilometers. And I told you one of the main reason was the ergonomics that suited me well. Okay, the second reason is that I save a lot of money riding this. Okay, so let me put things on the screen right now. I'll show you what exactly I have paid to cover 1,600 change kilometers on this scooter. This is as per the app. They give you an app. I'll go through the app also in a separate video. I'll give you a full complete overview of this pretty useful app. And this is the insight that you get in terms of how many kilometers you've ridden, and this much of money you saved, this much of carbon emissions you have avoided, etc. And then this is my actual log, the comparison of how much money I've spent in charging it using a paid charger at my house. That is from Ather. It is a Ather neighborhood charger. Okay, so you plug it in, you scan a QR code, and then you charge it for how many whatsoever hours you need, and then you pay for it through the app. So that's how much I've spent so far to cover this much distance. So we can make out the difference between the app insights and the actual expenditure from the pocket. And if I compare this with an ICE internal combustion engine scooter, like maybe an Activa for that matter, if let's consider Activa giving you a mileage of 55 kilometers per liter, let's keep that as a average mileage of a scooter. This is how much I would have ended up paying to cover this much amount of distance, right? And third main reason for for buying this, I think most of you, if you're already a subscriber to my channel, would have seen my video on the modes, the normal mode, the sport mode, and the hyper mode videos. And I've mentioned out there that it is because of the speed. Where Ather stops, Ola starts. That is the tagline that I would like to use. See, look, I have not been paid by Ola or whosoever to speak about this. I buy my own items, I buy my own vehicles, and I honestly give a feedback on what I feel about it. At least so far, I'm not a commercial YouTuber, as some of you might have seen. At least for now, because my subscriber base is not even 1,000. A very select few people with high IQs probably subscribe to me, and that is a real thank you to whosoever has been on this channel and supported me so far. In the future, if in case there are any commercial interests that come in between, I'll try to avoid it as much as possible. This video is going to be there on my channel. You can come back and look at it for whatever reasons you might feel. But that is what my main intention is with regards to making this channel of mine, logging all of my automobile and travel journeys. Now, what other things should I discuss about this? Let me quickly give you an overview of how the screen looks like, for which we will go to a darker space and take a look at the whole of it, the whole shebang that's been offered in this scooter. All right, sure. Oh yeah, the fourth main reason, I think, third or fourth, I guess let's call it fourth main reason of me buying this. And I realized this only after buying it. I didn't know till I bought it, because as far as the running costs are concerned, the power is concerned, those main, and the ergonomics in terms of the riding, the higher front handle and the foot pegs out here, all are concerned. All three reasons are concerned. I knew it before, okay, because I had test ridden it and I've seen it and so on. But then when I bought it, and I realized it's so freaking silent, man. It's like riding on air, It's literally okay. I'm not talking about the suspension, but the feeling. There's hardly any vibrations or the purr of the motor, as we could see in the internal combustion equivalents of this scooter, that maybe in Activa or Access or whatsoever. Okay, so the complete absence of the ICE engine, and then you just moving ahead with the twist of the throttle, it's a different feeling, There's hardly any vibrations, it's almost zero. There might be some sort of a belt tension based vibration, but that is fine, man. It's so negligible. I'm just nitpicking out here, to be honest. Otherwise it's just a breeze. It's like, literally you are breeze. You're riding on a breeze, and that's how it behave. This is one of the points I really love about this scooter. I really love this scooter for the way it rides silent. It's almost like, it reduces your stress of riding by 50% as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm less stressful, I'm less tired compared to an ICE scooter. And the fact that you're paying only around 10 to 20 paise per kilometer also adds to it at the back of your subconscious mind. You're no longer spending 1 rupee or 1 rupee 50 paise per kilometer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, the point was that it's extremely smooth to ride, and even at speeds of 120 and 80 and 90, 80 is where I am most of the times. It's just seamlessly, it's like gliding. It's literally like gliding. Yeah. I would call this the glider of all the aircrafts. Okay, in all the aircrafts, let's say jet, and you have propeller driven helicopters and whatsoever, you even have gliders, right? So gliders are the most silent, the most smoothest in terms of the experience. I would call it a glider. But anyway, that's about it. That's probably the reason why I will keep riding it. Okay, and it makes you ride more, when you don't feel stress. You feel good riding it because there is less noise and vibrations. You feel like riding it more and more. That's my take on it. Yeah, that's how I feel. Some of you might say, "Oh no, I thought you were a petrol head," and blah blah blah. Come on, man. My KTM ADV 390. That it sounds so bad. It sounds like a can filled with nuts and bolts. Why the heck would I enjoy something like that? I mean, okay, it does those speeds. It takes you from a place to another place fast and securely. That's fine. But if it was a 4-cylinder Harmony, I would have enjoyed it. I don't have a 4-cylinder now. Anyway, so yeah, That's the reason why I said I love the sound of this EV. That is literally, it's soundless. That's that. Let's take a look at this, okay? Uh, I wanted to show you this, right? So long press it, and then you have these themes. This is a theme of a gulmohar tree. Apparently, gulmohar tree in our environment consumes a lot of carbon emissions, and then you know, it reduces the carbon footprint in general. And the more you ride it, the more you, I mean, get this the tree growing around like this. Okay, so far, if you may see, I'll just close this, right? So I've grown this tree till now. It's like a game, right? So gamified this riding of the scooter too out here. Okay, so this is my odo reading, right? 1, 6, 7, and so on. What is this? Oh yeah, you have a lot of these things. So you long press this. How did that happen? Okay, yeah, right. So you long press this. I've discovered this feature just now, thanks to this video. Okay, this is the trip meter. This is the odo. And this is the my trip. Oh, this is the total odo, and this is how many kilograms of CO2 I have avoided, and how many trees. 0 trees planted till now, but then I need to wait till this gulmohar tree grows fully, and that is when it'll say that I planted a tree. I don't know if the Ola literally plants a tree, but it's like a game. And this is how much money I've saved so far: 3,927 rupees for covering how many kilometers? 1,678 kilometers, right? And then this is the power. Oh, they have a power meter too. I think it works. I think it's kind of a accelerometer. Maybe it shows how much I'm accelerating and so on. It's like a real-time indicator of the fuel consumption in ICE equivalents. This is a torque meter. Okay, I haven't really seen what it is, but we'll get to this later. I will use that from now on and see what happens. So this is like the care theme, and then we go to the Eclipse theme. I haven't used this yet. So we need to apply, press apply. It says it's applying, and then you have a new theme out here. Looks futuristic for an electric scooter, that is. I mean, it's an electric scooter kind of a theme. Okay, and then we have a vintage theme, and this is all with the retro displays and dials and stuff. And let me show you the other theme that is available. You have a bold theme, and then let me apply this, and this is how it looks. This is also another futuristic theme. And then let me see the other one. This is the care one. So it's just cycling around. So we'll go back to my care theme, because I want to see the tree growing. Feels good to do that. This is your battery indicator. If you press that, it will convert into kilometers, distance to empty kind of a display. That's what it is. It can do 117 kilometers in normal mode. That's what it shows. So it will cycle through it when you press that. And then okay, let's get it. And here, let's go through the keys out here, right? So this is a waterproof keypad. It's not a tactical layout for switch layout. So this, let's talk about this. This is the light control. You have this low beam, and this is how the low beam looks. Now you press it once again, you toggle through the high beam, and when you press it once again, it goes off. So press low beam, high beam, off. Low beam, high beam, high beam. Yeah, I find it pretty decent. It's not too bad. Not too bad. And then you can press and hold it for a longer time, and when you do that, the halo lamps turn on. The halo lamps, it looks like that robot from Wall-E, the movie, the Disney Pixar movie Wall-E. Cute little robot, looks like that. I think it's called Eva, I'm not sure. So you long press it once again, the halo lights go off, and you turn off by using this. By default, when you turn the scooter on, I mean we keep it in ride mode, the low beam turns on. Now let's talk about the other control. This is the right indicator, left indicator, and to cancel these you long press them and then it goes off. You long press them and then you have the hazard lights coming in, okay, like this. So the hazard lights come on, and you can use the hazard lights for riding in low visibility conditions, heavy rain, fog. Just make yourself visible more than usual, and even when you're stationary in the middle of a highway or whatsoever, which is most dangerous, that's when you need to be more visible. And to turn it off, you press this button and then it goes off. And for those of you saying, oh, you should use the hazard lights only when you're stopped and stationary, I say F you. No, use it if you feel uncomfortable and in terms of not being visible to others. Use it, go ahead and use it, make yourself visible. It's better than being sorry. Okay, now let's talk about this is a horn and it's pretty effective. So as far as I'm concerned, my school of thought, this is sufficient horn, and does the job. So that is that. Now let's come on to the right side. Here we see the modes. So it's right now in parking. To turn it on, to start riding it, you press one of these levers, brake levers, and press this power button, and it's on. Now you can also hear the ambient sound or rather music kind of an experience from this particular theme. Right now you toggle through modes by using this mode button. You press this, it goes to sport. Press this once again, it goes to hyper. Press this once again and it toggles. It just cycles through the normal, sport and hyper modes. All right, if you want to go into eco mode, you long press this and then it will go to eco mode. Eco mode, you can use it in extreme chock-a-block bumper to bumper traffic, and moreover you should be ready to push your scooter with your legs, like in the olden days during Luna Super and TVS XL50 etc. You had pedals that you could use if it would not climb through a incline, but now you gotta do it with your legs because the scooter, there's no pedal here. But then jokes apart, you can continue using normal mode for most of the regular functions. It will more than take care of the requirements. It will automatically convert to eco mode when the battery percentage goes below 15%. Like I said, if you can press this once, it will show you the percentage, and then you press it once again, 145 kilometer range. So it is in eco mode, it shows 145. Let me toggle once again to normal mode, and then this changes to 117. I would not be riding in eco mode for sure. Sport mode and the hyper mode. So hyper mode, the acceleration is brutal, I would say. That's the right word I would use. It is pretty harsh. You should know how to handle the scooter, and then it will take care of itself, or you can take care of yourself. But sports mode is very manageable. You get a pretty good control in sports mode. You can filter extremely well. Even in normal mode you can filter well. It all depends on your skill, right? Okay, end of the day. So these are the modes, and then you have this is a volume control knob for maybe when you receive a call or something. I hardly seldom use these buttons. I think this is for the music control or something, so I don't use them, right? And then this is the reverse button, and you press it once, it goes into reverse. To go reverse, you need to twist it the other way around. Okay, and it has a limit. It has a limit of 4 kmph, and very useful, especially in certain situations. Then to get out of the reverse mode, you can either press this, where it goes into parking, or let me put it back to mode again. You can put it in reverse once, and you can also push push this to go back to normal mode. All right. Now when you do this, you can also use this as a cruise control button when you are at certain speeds. I'll show this maybe in one of the future vlogs. But then when you're cruising at certain speeds and let go of the throttle and then you press this button once, it'll take about maybe a 2 or 3 second time, and then it'll lock your speed at certain, maybe at 69. If you're cruising at 80, it'll go down to 69 and stay there. And you can also use this in eco mode. In fact, when you use it in the eco mode, I think it'll give you a pretty good range, but then you're going too slow and it's not safe. All right. So these are the things you can do with this. A lot of activities happening here in the parking, so I think I will conclude this here, and I'm hoping you guys have had a good picture about what it's all about. Instead of going to the showroom and discovering all of this, or maybe using it and then discovering all of this, you can just sit back at your home or from your phone screen and see what exactly this is all about. All right. I hope it was useful, and here's where I'll conclude this. To lock it back in, I press this button once, it goes to parking, and to lock the scooter, I long press this button and then it goes punk. That is that. It's locked. The handle is also locked, and that is that. You can go back to your business. And how can I forget one of the main reasons why I bought this scooter? One of the main reasons, but not a deal breaker as such, but it was the seat. The seat is so wide and nice, and I really like the fact that you can rest both your butt cheeks on this. The ischium bone, as they call it, can rest on a flat surface. Unlike the Splendor or maybe the Hero X-Pulse, of course it's not apples to apples comparison, but I'm just saying in terms of seating, see, the Splendor seat might be this narrow or this broad, that's it, and you are literally sitting on your ass crack. Okay, your ass crack is getting squeezed up. So when you sit on a proper nice seat like this, both your butt cheeks are resting, and you can adjust accordingly if you want to sit for a long time on the vehicle, that is. Okay. One of the reasons why also the KTM Adventure 390 or 250 Adventure seats are nice and wide, not as wide as the scooter of course, but it can handle both your butt cheeks, the ischium bones, they can rest there, and that provides a lot of support to your back when you are riding for a long duration. And some people started complaining about it being too soft, or maybe the plastic caving in, etc. I would like to say yes, maybe in the Generation 2 they have maybe lessened the amount of plastic used on the base. It did cave in once or twice, but so far as I've seen, it only caves in when you're sitting on one butt cheek and then you are really heavy. It caves in, but it comes out up. It comes back up, and then you're fine. Okay, it's not a major deal breaker as such, but overall it's good, man. It's supportive. It's not so bad as it'll cave in and you'll fall inside the dicky. No, it's not that. It's pretty good as far as my experience is concerned. Yeah, and how can I forget the range? Okay, range is most important. As far as my usage is being concerned, I usually cover around 80 to 90 kilometers per day sometimes. So for that, it totally let me put it very simply, my dear friends. For the way I ride it, I don't want to ride it like an old fart, riding it at 40-50 kmpl just to conserve energy. No, I don't do that. I use the throttle fully, completely, and I always stick with those top speeds because most of my commute is also partly on the highways, and because of which I get around, let's say, 80 to 90 kilometers per full charge. That is with around 15% battery left. This is an approximation. I haven't done the range test as such, but to be honest, I'll tell you what, the moment it goes below, only once have I crossed the limit or rather declined below 10%. And when I did that, I got an SMS from Ola saying that it's dangerously low, you need to charge. And this is one gripe I have about Ola as a company. Okay, the product is fine, they have fine-tuned it and improved it nice and well, but for their infrastructure in terms of charging, it's bull. It's real bull. And I'll tell you why. Oh, I think something bit me. Was it a Scorpio? Oh no. Alright, so the charging infrastructure is bull, because you go to a charger and then what's more deceiving is, it's okay if the charger is not working, there's no power whatsoever, that's fine. There are some chargers, these hyperchargers, where you go and then what happens is, there you see that when you go to those hyperchargers, what happens is you plug it in, it says hypercharging, but it doesn't charge at all. The damn thing doesn't charge. You come back after 1 hour thinking and hoping that it's charging, and then you see that it's still at the same percentage you left the vehicle 1 hour ago, and that's bullshit. And I raise a complaint online. It's like the lesser I speak about it, the better, because all they're interested is in selling. And when they sold me this vehicle, they were like, oh, March 31st, it's getting over, the government subsidy is going to be taken away. So they created this scarcity tactic in sales, as they call it. And then I went in for it. It's not that I regret it, I'm just saying they used the tactic, because if I go now and ask in the inquire about the price in the showrooms, they still say it's the same. The same price as before 31st March of 24 that it was. So that's one thing. Leave alone the sales tactics. So this charging network is one thing that needs to be fixed. And moreover, I don't know what's wrong with we people, or not me at least, the users of Ola scooters. They've broken most of these guns. They look so bloody dirty. Some of them have shit in it. I mean, for all I know, whatever it is in it. And these guys, some of them might have even put a chewing gum inside the guns, for all I care, if it's not broken. And it simply doesn't work. Okay, and Ola as a company, at least maybe they should man the stations there. They should provide some employment for some security guards who could stand there and regulate this. And fighting for the slot when there are multiple vehicles there is not uncommon, if I may say. Okay, most of the times people just chat around, and that's another good thing about it. You can meet new people if they are meetable. Otherwise, if you're in a hurry and then there's a line of people in the charging station, the Ola hyper charging stations, and then it all totally, I would say it all totally depends on your talent, man. The way you deal with them, and then you get your charging done and go home or go wherever whatsoever. Okay, so that's one thing I noticed in terms of the charging network. That's the one gripe I had with Ola in terms of charging network, is unreliable. So 99%, if you're going to be charging it at a reliable source, that is at your house, at your home, go for it. Otherwise, if you are going to be let's say totally dependent on external charging, it's a hit or miss. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to share about the charging infrastructure of the scooter. And in terms of charging, it usually takes around 6 to 7 hours to charge from maybe around 20% to 30%. I mean 20% battery levels to 100%, or 30% battery levels to the 100%. It takes around 6 hours, 6 to 6.5 hours. That's the max it takes. And each charging time that I put it in for, let's say for example, if I charge it for around let's say if I charge it for around 6 hours, I end up paying around 40 rupees in the Ather neighborhood charger. That is including GST and stuff. But if you are a house owner who has a direct plug-in, doesn't have a Ather neighborhood charger, then you could probably easily get away with paying maybe less than that, maybe 20 rupees, 30 rupees for a full charge, depending on the slab that you fall under. And if you fall under the slab of 200 units and less in Karnataka, it's as good as riding it for free, because thanks to the government, the Congress government today, you are getting free electricity if your consumption is less than 200 units, and that is there. So this is the right time to make hay while the sun shines, as far as I'm concerned, in electric two-wheeler mobility. I'm not sure about the four-wheelers, because I've been hearing a lot of mixed responses in terms of the running costs and the overall resale value and the life and the niggles and all the problems one faces with the EV four-wheeler. But two-wheeler is definitely a risk worth taking as far as I'm concerned. So I did that, and I took the plunge with the Ola EV. And this is where we are at 1600 change kilometers on my Odo, and I'm hoping to run it till it falls apart. I don't know how many more kilometers it'll last, but let's see. You know where to come to check on my progress in terms of its utilization. So with that, I would like to sign off with this review of my ownership of the Ola S1 Pro Generation 2 electric scooter.